Hi everyone and welcome to the introduction for the new building generator. You can find it in the generator suite down here next to the terrain generator. And maybe let's start with the terrain generator just to show the big difference. So for the terrain generator we can just define here our rectangular piece of terrain. So let's just take this library, click on generate, and that's what we have. Of course we can set different heights here. Let's just do something. So we have a nice building, but as you see, we can only define how high the corners here are and how high the sides are. So if I do something like this, then we have a 4x2 ruin, but we can't have like more difficult shapes. And that's the reason why I created the building generator, because you can do much more with that. So let's start the building generator. You can already see it's completely different here. Again, let's just select our library, and we can now just draw our building we want. Let's do it like this. Put in some floors, click on show regenerate, and we already have it. We can of course just also add walls here, remove the floors and stuff like that. We can increase the number of total levels we have and can then just scroll through with the mouse wheel. You can see here current level. So if we say in the next level we just want to have something here, let's do it like that. And then this is our building. And we could even like build a tower here. And even like do some really interesting shapes over here. Everything is possible now with that. So it's really easy to use, and especially really handy to use if you want to have more complex structures. As you can see here, something like this wouldn't just be possible with the old terrain generator. We can change the direction of the walls here. So for these two walls it doesn't really matter because they're symmetric, but for example this wall, if you go down to the bottom level and change the direction here, it will now reshuffle, so we probably won't have the same part there. But let's see. Okay, maybe this is the wrong library for stuff like that, because most of the parts are symmetric. But we can just do a right click and then select something. So for example, let's take this wall, full wires here, and as you can see, everything that's yellow was selected. And now if you look from the inside, you see the wires that we wanted to have on the outside are on the inside, and we can just click on it, drag it to the outside, to the inside, and release the mouse to have it like we want. So probably want to change the direction of these walls so that these are outer walls. And yeah, you can see it here. That's actually this wall. It's just flipped. So let's regenerate it now. And we have our wires and stuff on the outside. Well, yeah, that's basically how it uses. You can build walls, you can build floors. Of course, if you do something like here where we don't have walls, then on the first floor we have walls, the tool won't check it. That's your responsibility to actually build proper buildings. So if you want to support that, we can just go to the lowest floor and add walls like that. And then of course we probably need a door. So again, just right click here. Let's take this door and do it once again. What I did in this library is that the special wall types like doors or ladders are not part of the normal library, but in a subfolder. Let me just show you that. So here we have the library folder, and you can see we have the non-standard stuff. And in this non-standard stuff we have everything like these stairs, for example. And in the standard stuff we have the normal things. The only thing is that I did forgot to remove these images here, but you can see there is no STL file for them, so we can just remove them. That's bullshit. Sorry about that. So yeah, we just have normal walls that can be used anywhere. And for the non-standard stuff like these ladders or the stairs, we have them in an extra folder. So if you now, for example, want to say, I don't like that, then just move that to the non-standard folder. And if you now generate it once again, there won't be any of these crosses. You can also do that with the doors, for example, because they sometimes are not wanted. And then if you just right click on a wall, we have all the parts from the standard walls. So that's up to here. And then we also have all the special walls. Like here, the stairs, for example. Let's just take that to show it. And now we have the stairs here. I have another version of the stairs without the plates on top. So it's easier for printing. And that's this one. And there you have it. And then you can just separately print the single stairs and then glue them on top. Yeah, that's actually how it works. You can increase the size here for much larger buildings. And you can, of course, use the whole space. I just left one square around it. But you can also do that. If you say it just looks better here, let's do it like that. So we have a larger building here. Also the height can be changed. Then of course the amount of levels, and you can just scroll through with the mouse wheel. As you can see here, the current level will just change when using the mouse wheel. Then we have three options here. I have clicked off because it's much faster. Let me just make it very small because this takes probably some time. Let's build something like this. Yeah. And we can now do stuff like make the bottom flat. Let's add another level here so we can show it. Make the bottom flat is just if we have a bit difficult library, for example, that probably was created by disturbing a mesh. It might be that some elements are below 0 here. And when printing that, it might shift everything up, so only this one point is at the print bed and everything just hovers above it, which will lead to horrible print results. I had that with a sci-fi gothic terrain, so the terrain you can see here, but that's already fixed, so it doesn't really matter. We have the add intersection cubes, and let's just switch that on. And we can also add the intersection cubes on the ground floor. And let me just show that to you. As you see, we now have slots here in every corner, and we also have them here in between the levels. Let me just open the file for you. So this is the file we just generated here. And if we now go to the file per level, we have the temp 0 here. And you see we have this element here that perfectly fits in here. And for the second floor, we also have the slots here. And that's basically add intersection cubes. And if we switch on also on ground floor, it will be added down here too. So usually we don't need that. But if you want to be fully modular, like for example, let's just take, for example, a tower. And we want to just be able to switch the order of the elements, then this makes sense. Also, when right-clicking here, as I told you, we can select elements. We can also just say select file. So you can select any file you want from any folder, or we can again do random auto. You see the yellow is gone. Now it will just randomly put together parts for that. And yeah, we have our load config file thing here. So whenever you save something, it will save a config file that just saves everything you did here. So you can just reload the design, change it, export it once again. And yeah, that's it. That's how my new building generator works. And I'm pretty sure you can see it's a massive upgrade to the terrain generator, since you can just like really customize what you want to do here. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you next time. Goodbye.